We are live. Super late, guys, so I apologize. Never meant to be on starting this late. We had some stuff come up that I had to take care of. But the boss is now exactly set up exactly how I wanted it when I first got it. Let's let some people hot trickle in here, and then we'll start chatting. Oh, my dogs are barking. Brutus! Dogs are barking. Whoop. Stand by, guys. Got to get the dogs real quick. Be right back. And we're back. I wonder if someone else went live. Let's see. Nope. Just us. We're just really, really late. So we got a few people starting to trickle in. What is going on, everybody? Sorry for the super late start compared to usual. It's been had a lot to do all of a sudden. I was planning on going on at my normal time, and then, of course, life gets a vote, right? But yeah, well, we got a few things to talk about today. It'll be probably a relatively short live. This will be the next video that's coming up. But we do a comparison with these and the Roushes. These are the Flowmaster Outlaws. They were sent to us by our awesome subscriber, Broke Brad. And we tested them out. Unfortunately, they did interfere with my hitch. So all we got to do is I was able to bolt them up, and they looked really stupid because my hitch was in the way. But we were able to get it a good seal bolted up with the ball joint or the ball clamp. And we got some audio for it. But it's a good video. I do like the way they sound. So I do kind of wish I could have rocked them for a little bit. But I would have looked really silly driving around with them like angled way below the valence. What's up, Eris? Yeah, man. I started really late, so yeah. And there was no scheduled live, so I'm imagining that I don't know how many people hop in tonight, but if we got a few, we'll hang around for a bit. And if not, we'll get out of here. What you been up to, Eris? How's the car doing, man? I finally have my boss set up how I dreamed to have it when I first bought it. So it's pretty exciting. So now we got to start talking about like what's next, like what mods are next. You know, I could say, hey, I'm not buying anything. Hey, yeah, dude, appreciate you, man. I enjoyed that day too. It was a good day. I still have to replace my brake fluid. I boiled it, and it's probably pretty nasty in there. So we're gonna swap. We're gonna do a gravity bleed on that. I don't plan on doing a video. I'm sure there's plenty of videos out there on that, but I'm gonna gravity bleed my brakes, get the fluid freshened up, and keep going about business, man. But I hope to be able to go out to more track days for sure. But you want to see something that's pretty unusual? So this is my we're in my Mustang parts corner, and that is a trash can filled with Boss 302 side pipes. I've got 2 sets in there, so that's pretty unusual. Oh yeah, what tracks you planning on doing, man? Have you done tracks before? I watched that video, so like I mean I knew it happened live. Yeah, David, I started a little late, man. I got a late start because I was handling something else. And that track video, man, going back to it. So like the first 3 laps were it was embarrassing because I was on that Hellcat's tail the entire time, and when I got to the straight, the gap he opened up to me looked a lot worse than it could have been because I like shift when I'm just driving, cruising around. I shift in a way to kind of try and save the transmission. So I vary up my gears on what I'm shifting to. So I don't always go to every single gear. There's no reason to. I'll usually go like first, third, sixth, right? Or saved gears like that. Well, because of that, like just mentality that I have, when I was on that straightaway, if you watch the first 3 laps, you'll hear you can hear the car redlining up to 4th, and then I accidentally go into overdrive for 3 laps in a row. And it wasn't until the lap that he waved me by that because I was on his tail for the entirety of the course. Like as soon as we got out of that straight, I was right back on him. But it wasn't until the lap that he waved me by that I finally hit 5th gear. And it's really interesting shifting into 5th at 7,500 RPM. It's pretty awesome. Is the video bad, guys? Because it's showing me it's got terrible signal right now. So we might have to relocate. I can relocate if the signal's bad, guys. Just let me know. Because I can't tell. Yeah, it's showing bad signal right now. PPIR going to be doing Grand Sport and MSR Houston since they're local. You're just waiting for him. Yeah, and he said that. And you know what? Like, you know, kudos to him because like all those track guys were super cool. Like it was a great group. It was the Rally North America group, which is a group that Tony Towards the Mustangs hosts. They actually have their own show on like Maverick TV or something, which is pretty crazy. But you know, like he didn't have to get out of my way because he was like staying ahead of me the entire time in the straights. But he did. He's like, hey, I just wanted you to be able to go out there and be able to rip it. And if you watch, the moment I get by him and I have open track, I'm definitely moving faster than I was when I was stuck behind him. And I want to get back out, dude. I definitely want to do it again. It was fuzzy, but it's good now. Okay, well. I got you, Mike. Brutus, what are you doing? Brutus, come here. Get out of there. What are you doing? But yeah, man, I definitely want to get back out there. Good times. I'm definitely going to start looking into some brake upgrades, I think. I'd probably like to get the 6 pistons. or at least if I don't get the 6 pistons, upgrade to the GT500 rears. See if I can knock that out. And then possibly looking at the duct kits now. Definitely looking at the duct kits and cutting out that little fake, that faux, the faux fog light on the bosses. Yeah, he did all right, man. He did okay. Like, it is a heavy car, and he acknowledged that too. But like, there was the part that really killed him, and you can see it in the video because he's going super wide. That little serpentine part where I was able to like literally hug the apex on every turn real easily. He could not figure it out to stay on a quick line. He slowed down a lot on those. Oh, and since I don't know how long we'll be out here, guys, I'm going to go ahead and just post this so people can hop in if they want, and we'll just keep chatting, though. I could, but honestly, like, Eris, the approach I've taken, right, to my car is I've done everything the way I want to do it. So, like, if I change it, it's not, like, going to be something that I'm going to hate. And I don't know, honestly. I guess you could probably get a California Special lower front end. Yeah, if you get the Cali Special front end, then you have the fog lights open already. So I guess I could do that. I could look at that. It's not a bad idea. I'm all about wall art, man. So we'll put all the boss parts up on the wall. But I got no room in here, unfortunately. What's do you think the best thing you've done to your suspension? You want to know what I've done to my suspension? Nothing. I turned the front to 5 and I turned the rear to 4 on the adjustable dampers. I left it stock, and the reason I left it stock is you guys might not be able to see it. So let me let's see. Hold up, guys. Let's see if we can find a picture on my phone. Because I don't know if the camera might lose signal if I walk you guys over there. Really weird noise going on here. All right, let's see. All right. Here's why I left mine stock. And I'm not going to... Oh, sway bars? No, I haven't done that yet. I haven't done sway bars, haven't done end links. I do want to upgrade the end links and the sway bar. I want to get something a little beefier. But this is why my suspension, I haven't lowered it or anything, because I just put those on. And let me just tell you guys, wait till that video comes out, because if you have not heard those in person, holy crap. It is amazing. Yeah, I agree. I agree, downhill. I've been looking for this mod. I've been looking for this for freaking 6 years. I bought the car in January 2017. And then the moment I bought it, right, I've always had my eyes out, but like they're always like crazy expensive. I did still spend some money on it, but I still got what would be a deal by today's standards. And so what I had done previously is initially, right, when I got the boss, I removed the baffle plates that choke the flow. And then I found out there were resonators in the side pipes, and I cut out the resonators. And when you cut out the resonators, it was supposed to be like a poor man's cook's side pipe. And they're pretty loud. It sounded good too. It's loud, chops loud. But let me tell you, there is a huge difference with these cooks. I didn't think there could be a huge difference. It is monstrous. Way deeper. Way deeper. Definitely throatier. And then like when you hit it, it is way louder. I didn't know how much louder it could be. And maybe it's just because that whole side is like a trumpet opening up right there. But man, it is loud, and the cabin is it's way louder in the cab. but it's worth it. It sounds amazing. I am very fortunate to have gotten a set finally. Now that being said, like the Cooks, the stock side pipes with Resonator delete are still like if you just bought a Boss 302 and you want a best bang for the buck mod, cut out that teeny little section of pipe in your side pipes, and it's night and day difference, and it just makes it sound like an animal. And that's that like honestly, if I were to ever get another Boss 302, which I don't know how that would happen, but if I ever did, to have like a dedicated track car as one and then have another one to kind of take care of, I would immediately delete the resonators and side pipes and then go from there. I literally spent like $60 to have it cut out or something. I'd have to go back to the video and watch that I found, but it was something stupid cheap to get it done. I'm thinking about doing that on my 90, doing that on the 94. Yeah. So Mike, funny you say that. The new project car that we'll be getting whenever it's ready, it's getting worked on. Whenever I get it, I'm going to, and I have the money, I'm going to bring it to my buddy with an entire set of Boss 302 exhaust. I'm going to bring the mid pipe and 2 side pipes. And I'm going to ask him, what will this take to make this work on this car? So I'm very curious to see if we can make it happen. It'll be a one of one. Oh, hold on. Let me go find my comment and pin it real quick in case people want to hop in here. I did post it. If you guys can, please hit that like button. It does help us out. Pin message. There we go. Hey, thanks. 1D3. What is that supposed to be? IDER, or is it supposed to be 1D3R? What's that stand for? It's got to mean something. What car you got? I'm assuming, do you have a Boss as well, I'm assuming? And welcome to Livestream, man. I don't think I've seen you in here before. Got a couple of the normies in here. Hey, what's up, Fat Boy Fox? Hey, man, you going to Foxtoberfest, or you already heading there? I'm really bummed I can't go, but I am glad that I was able to pass on or pay it forward, like it were, the gift that I got from George last year. Hey, man, there's nothing wrong with that, dude. Nothing wrong with that. Dude, there's no hating on people's rides in here, my man. Well, I don't know if you've ever seen it, though. There's a video of a turbocharged 3.5, and it's like taking down GTRs. So, I mean, dude, those little 3.5s are no slouch, or 3.7s, not 3.5, 3.7s. The little Cyclone motor is not a slouch. It would have been really cool if they'd done a twin turbo V6 version of the Mustang. I think there's actually a guy who's on That Dude in Blues channel who he twin turboed his 3.7 S550, I believe, and he test drove it, and it looks ridiculous. I know you live 30 minutes away from it, but I mean, are you going to like the full week's events, or are you only going Friday and Saturday? Oh, dude, those 3.7s turboed are stupid fast. It's essentially like, I mean, it's like building your own Grand National. The Cyclones are pretty powerful. I mean, they're pretty stout little engines. I think I pinned the link, guys. Can you guys see that pinned? If anybody wants to hop in here and chat. What mods you got done to it, 1D? honestly, I those Cyclones, like 300 horsepower is, I mean, it's crazy that the jump that was made. It's crazy that the jump. I don't think I've ever seen you actually on here.
Hey, how's it going?
What's going on?
No.
So 1D, I think the jump that was made is amazing because they went from the 3-valve motor, right, being the peak of performance, which was 300 horsepower. And then you had a year of funkiness in 2010. And then the next year, you had the Cyclone and the 5.0 come out. And the Cyclone was making as much power as the previous iteration of the V8. So, I mean, that is definitely no slouch of a car. And it's lighter. So, what you got going on, man?
Nothing. No, when I saw your video of you at the track, my wife was like, oh no, he's giving you more ideas. Because I already have a spreadsheet of all the things that she's like, I know you're going to go out to the track. Like, yeah, it is like not hot anymore. Because it's been so hot in Texas the last couple months, like 100 plus months. So I actually went and got my boss looked at the Ford dealer, and they were like, hey, you might want to change your clutch. This clutch is sticking on the ground when you go a little bit fast. So
hold up. Before you do that, do you have the stainless line first?
I got the stainless line in there. Yeah, that was already there when I bought it.
So when you just drive it normally and you release it, is it releasing high or low?
It feels like it releases pretty high up. I don't remember. I can't remember, to be honest.
I mean, releasing high, that's a good thing. It means you still got a lot of clutch. How many miles are on that clutch?
24,000.
Okay. Let me put it this way. And I don't know your car exactly. And maybe are you the original owner?
No.
Okay, maybe the previous owner drove her pretty hard. I don't know, but like my car is about to cross 70,000. The original clutch is in there. I definitely don't drive it soft. And I just took it to the track, and you watch that video, I didn't get locked out a single time going around that track. And I do know, I mean, I can't say that the MT82s are hit or miss. Like, you either get a good one or you get a bad one. And so, I mean, maybe you're stuck in that boat. I don't know. But, I mean, how often do you have that issue?
I get locked out going from first to second, like 80% of the time if I'm driving hard, yeah.
That's frustrating.
Yeah, that's why I got the MGW shifter to see the new one, and then I sent you the one that I had to see if that fixed it, and that didn't do anything. So at the drag strip, I'll take off from first and then just quickly go into second.
I mean, there's nothing wrong. There's definitely nothing wrong with upgrading the clutch. I mean, everybody says that that's the real fix and that everything else is a Band-Aid. That's what I hear. But, like, honestly, my opinion is, address the little things first and see if it'll work, because those are – when you fix the clutch, you're going to want all those accompanying mods anyway, and those are the cheap mods to do first.
No, the stainless lines in there, the brand new shifters in there. I mean, so that's about it.
I'm reading people's comments. Where did I find Cook Sidepipe? Dude, Manuel. Sorry, man. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. I apologize. I didn't find it. They found me, in fact. So one of the people I've met thanks to doing this YouTube thing, 2 years ago, I was invited to be on display at the Boss 302 display. They're featuring the Boss at Ponies and the Smokies. And I had parked, like, we got there early. Well, not early. We got there the day before the show. I had to go park the car. We had just done the Blue Ridge Mountains and did Mount Pisgah, and we ran the mountains, and they were literally on the way there, drove through 2 tornado warnings. The mountains were soaked. The car got disgusting. I spent hours cleaning this thing. And while I was cleaning it, other guys who are Boss owners were there taking care of their cars, and they saw us roll in. And then it was really cool because that was really my first interaction that I've actually really had with people who watch this stuff in person. And it's kind of, it's very humbling. It's a very humbling experience when people say that they really appreciate that stuff. But one of the guys who came up to me, right, he has a kid who's into cars just like my boys. And he said he loves seeing how they're engaged and stuff like that. And he had everything. So he had the Parnelli Jones cold air intake, and he had the Cook side pipes. Well, he messaged me a few weeks ago saying that he had the Cook side pipes for sale. And he told me a price, and I said I can't afford that right now. I said this number I'll get. I gave him a certain number. I said this is what I can't afford, and I said if you ever want to sell it and you accept that, come back to me, man. But other than that, go earn $1, man. I'm not gonna hold you up. Do what you got to do. Make some money. Because he was trying to fund another project. Well, fast forward about a week, he messaged me back. It's like, you know what? I did get an offer that was higher than what you gave, but like honestly, I kind of love what you do, and I'd love to see you install this and see your boys' reactions and stuff like that. So that's kind of how it all happened. I got very lucky, man, very lucky. And I will say, I got lucky, but I definitely still spent some money. Let's put it that way. It was by no stretch of the imagination free. But with these particular boss parts becoming rarer and rarer, he was well within his right to just hold on to that dollar number he had and could have waited it out. And I'm positive that somebody eventually would have paid for it. Somebody would have paid for it. Somebody who has buckets of money and a nice boss, they would have for sure given him that amount. What's up, man?
How you guys doing?
Doing all right.
Right.
Just hanging out. Dude, this is cool. We finally got look at that. There's all these bosses in the stream. That's awesome.
Right. So are you done with the rare parts for your boss?
So that's what I'm here to talk about, right? Like, so I'm trying to figure out now, what do I want to do next? So I could keep saving for a blower, and I get caught in this like boss purgatory where really nothing happens on the channel for a while. Or, I'm able to slowly procure parts, and every now and then I get a pretty cool video out of it. But I'm trying to figure out, like, there's not much more that I'm really interested in doing other than maybe long tubes. And I'd like to find a set of Recaro boss seats. I'm sure I can get a set from Parts Farm, but they're not going to be cheap either, right? I might as well start saving for the blower at that price point. I don't know. I do like the Ford Racing, like the R cars, the Ford Racing steering wheels. I like those. I might want to swap one of those on. Keep most of them interior intact, but I wouldn't mind doing a lot more track-centric mods. So like upgrading the rear brakes for the GT500 brakes, stuff like that.
Yeah. I was gonna say, if you want to go to the track, I don't know if a blower is going to be helping you out there.
I thought that too, but there are a couple guys on the group, like Oscar Fisher. He's got a school bus yellow that he has a Paxton on, and he takes it through road tracks, and that dude shreds it up. So, I mean, it's all about how you drive it. And like the centrifugals, I think that they're more for road track. They're way more user friendly, in my opinion, because you can build the boost when you want it, and you can keep it low when you're going around the turns, and you can keep it sedated. Yeah, there's a 12, there's a 13, there's a 12, and there's a Cobra, and you guys can't see my mouse. Only I can see my mouse. My bad. And he's got like 3 bosses in that garage, so he's got his all beat. Well, what's your shirt say? Does that say like a boss? Yeah, I like that. It says like a 302. See, if it said like a boss, that'd be awesome. I'm gonna have to get a shirt right now.
Copyright issue.
You just gave me an idea for merch for the channel. Thank you.
There you go. Yeah, I don't know if it's a copyright issue or if it's supposed to be more of a riddle, where you fill it in. It's Blip Shift is the name of the company, and they do a lot of riddle type motorcycle, 4-wheel, and car type T-shirts.
Holy cow! 650 miles. Dang, dude, I put that on my car on 3 separate times this past 2 months because I took it on road trips for work. Dang. You know what though? Like and there's nothing. I'm not knocking you at all. Like, certain people are fully entitled to do whatever they want with their car. You spent the money on it. It's your car, so enjoy it how it pleases you, right? I'm not one of the people that you're supposed to drive it. You know what? If you want to drive it, great. If you don't want to drive it, that means that there's always there's nice cars out there for everybody to enjoy and spectate at.
Yeah. I mean, 30 years, roll down Barrett Jackson, 7.8 million,
Yeah. Suspension and a supercharger. I mean, dude, honestly, I wish I could do it all, but like on top of all that, right? I'm also trying to at some point I got to buy a truck, and I don't know when that's going to fit in. I need the government to give me a raise.
Yeah, because if you go tracking, you need suspension, you need tires, you need all our cooling that we're kind of lacking a little bit in. You already have the transmission.
Actually,
and the clutch, right?
That's something I would. All right, I guess the next another mod I'd really like to do, and you be paying through the nose for it, but I'd love to get a set of Apex wheels.
Yeah.
I actually had an in on a few sets. That the guy who I featured on the channel, the IMSA racer, he was messaging me. He's like, dude, this guy's got like 4 sets of these wheels and they're gonna go fast. You need to hop on a set. I'm like, dude, I don't have just cash laying around to buy a freaking set of Apex wheels. What's up, boss man? Boss man. We got some old school people in here too. It's cool. I love when we get a lot of boss people in here, because then I feel like I'm comfortable talking about what we're talking about. So what are you working on, Cobra?
So LMR has invited myself and some other Cobra R guys over to their cruise in November at Texas Motor Speedway. So probably going to go through cleaning up the Cobra R in the background, and then probably going to redo some of the decals that it had when it was pro raced.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
I actually ended up having a very cool conversation. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Dr. Gas, his original X-Pipe. And so the Cobra R in the background is one of the original race cars that ran that. And so I was trying to redo the decal, and I thought, you know what, let me reach out to him and see if he has any old decals. And he called me back and kind of gave me probably an hour-long story of him developing the X-Pipe and then secretly putting it on one car in NASCAR, which ended up winning.
He was the boom tube guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the boom tube guy. Like,
yeah. His specialty was kind of the X-Pipe, though. That's where it started, and then he kind of evolved into the boom tubes, etc. So it's pretty cool.
So I don't know how long you've been following me here, Cobra R, but like there's a guy. So I knew, I talked to him for a long time while he had his car. There's a guy who's still in the boss group, but he had a 2012, I think it was Race Red or Comp Orange, one of the two, and he sourced it from the IMSA racer who I was talking about, who found it. The Roush race car X-Pipe already welded into boom tubes coming outside from a Roush race car. And he sourced it. It's NASCAR exhaust. And he had it custom fabs up to his Boss 302. And it is the loudest, most ridiculous sound I've ever heard. And he gave me I had the first opportunity to buy it. But the dollar amount was insane. Like I could not, like the amount he spent on it to get it done. It's awesome that some people can afford to do stuff like that, but I sure can't. I could have bought a blower for the price.
Well, for one of my Boss 302Rs I'm putting together, I was able to find a guy, I can't remember his name, but he was the crew chief for Roush Racing in the IMSA series. And so I was able to buy a lot of parts from him. And one of the pieces I was able to get from him, or the kits, is the complete exhaust system from a 302R. It's so cool. Interesting. It has number 51. So that was the car that Shelby Blackstock, actually Reba McIntyre's son, ran for Roush Racing. So I have that up in the attic ready to go for when I get the car to the point where it's time to bolt on exhaust.
Whenever you have like cool stuff, just send me pictures. Like whenever you say,
Okay,
"Hey,
I'll
this
do
is
that.
really cool. I think you'll enjoy it." Send me a picture so I can like drool over it and be like, "Man, I'm so jealous."
Sounds good.
That's awesome though. Yeah, so I knew like Roush Jr. He was racing those cars for a while, I believe, and those cars were dominating when they were in the series, I believe, back then.
Yeah, they did pretty well. There were some struggles there for a while. I think they're having some wiring issues, and you know, one thing or the other. But just to take a car, right out of the box to run in that series, that's a tall order.
Yeah.
There's a lot of money in that series, a lot of factory support, and those
Well,
cars are sorted out.
What they did though, my understanding is that they started racing those cars in 2011, and they designed the Boss 302 around them. So they're like, hey, let's test this out live. This works great. We're gonna put this in the actual 302 car. That was my understanding of how it went down.
It would be Daytona 2010. There were 4 Boss 302Rs. There's 002, which I own, 005, which was out of Watkins Glen, New York, and then XX1 and XX2, which are the prototypes, which are Multimatic factory teams.
Yeah. Yeah, Multimatic is a phenomenal company. They do a lot of cool stuff. I appreciate you, Manuel. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, I'm honestly, so what it hit me pretty hard this weekend. I'm not gonna lie. So like my memory for the weekend was a picture of my oldest son in his Power Wheel in front of a cop car that I took when I had first gotten my Boss, and I was like, holy crap, man! Like my youngest son is now this age. Like time is blowing by here quick. So I do my best to enjoy every moment, and like I like recording it to watch it later. That's part of the reason I like making the videos of the events and stuff. But like then again, I definitely make sure that I don't miss out on the moment because I'm too fixated on recording. So like this past weekend, we went to a car show, and I didn't record anything really. Like I just hung out with my boys and had a good time. So I don't film everything we do, but I definitely, I like to make the home movies kind of thing. To me, it's home movie. But sometimes you just got to enjoy the moment. Oh, let's see. Eris, you got any mods you've been doing lately? Anything?
No. Since that shifter, that's it. Right now,
What clutch you looking at?
I'm on one of the forums talking to guys who race like a lot of the bosses. I'm looking at Exity. I'm going to call it Exity tomorrow to understand better. Because a lot of people who ran the Spec 1 Exity, they're saying they were having problems with it, like heating up. You can smell it because it's just organic. So I was like, yeah, that's what it smells like when I go to the drag strip or autocross. Eventually, I'll smell that with my clutch. So I wanted to call and ask because I don't need a race clutch because I'm gonna drive it in the street.
Have you ever sat in one of Alejandro Flores's live streams?
Mm-mm.
So he's the Lund racer, and he's very direct. Let's put it that way. But like he's got a ton of people in there. But if you keep asking the same question over and over, eventually he'll see it, and usually he'll answer it. Like I was asking him certain questions about the Calimer Stage 3 before I pulled the trigger on it, because he says he prefers the Calimer or the MT82 Calimer to the Tremec. And so he said that was his choice. He said it in one of his videos. And so I was just kind of curious as to his his opinions on certain things, but he could probably be a good source of like what clutch to run or the four. I mean, I'm sure you're on Facebook, right?
No.
Oh man, see, I don't like Facebook except for like the Boss group and some of the car groups and Marketplace to find parts. That's how I source a lot of my parts that I pick up. But yeah, if you ever do decide to get on Facebook just for that, the Boss Owners group on there is phenomenal. It's like probably the only non-toxic Mustang group I've ever been a part of.
Yeah. I just dislike social media. Like right now,
nothing wrong with that, man.
Yeah,
nothing wrong with it.
you can't do it. There's actually a guy here who has a Laguna Seca. We're both part of the same Mustang group up here in Texas. He's actually selling a 2012. He has that Tiger hood that everyone wants. He has one of those, and he's selling it.
How much do you want that for? How much do you want for it?
I'll ask him next time I see it, because at first I was like, "Can I buy it from you?" And then he's like, "No, it's a 12. It was from the 13." So I was like, "Damn!" And then I thought of you. Then I was like, "Crap! I don't have IG anymore." So I was going to message you on YouTube, but I'll ask him. I'll ask him. When I'll see him.
What's his name?
I have him on my phone. I'll give you the information later, so you can, if you want to message him.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, because I'll see him here in a couple of weeks at a car show that we're both at.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cobra's in Texas too, right?
Yes, I'm in San Antonio.
Okay, yeah, I'm in Houston, just north of Houston. Yeah.
You ever make it to the road courses out there?
So I'm trying to get my car ready for MSR and what's the name of the other one? Not Grand Sport. I think they're both down there, like near Galveston, down south of Houston.
Okay. The MSR is the only one I'm really aware of. I mean, I think I've heard of the second one, but I don't know the name.
Yeah.
Cool.
I went down to Houston a couple years ago to get actually deck lid for one of my Boss R's, and we drove through there, and it's rainy. Almost all the garage stalls are closed, and I happened to park just to kind of get my bearings to see what we're going to do. And I'm looking in front of me, and I'm thinking, that looks like a Boss 302S. And I got out of the car and walked up to it. It was Boss 302R017. Out of 2 dozen, it was one of them. And I just by chance happened to park behind the one garage, that it was behind.
That's awesome. I wish I had one, man. I
took
really
a bunch
wish
of
I had
pictures, and I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I wish I had one. Maybe one day I'll be able to pick one up when I'm older, but I'm not going to hold my breath. Let's see. But yeah, there's a couple other parts I'd like to pick up too, I guess. So the AccuFab throttle body, there's one that they had, I think it's AccuFab, that's the company. There's one that says AccuFab, but there's one they made that's hard to find too that says Ford Racing on it or Ford Performance on it, one of the two. But it's difficult to find without the AccuFab label. So I'm searching for that. Seats, wheels. Trying to think of what else I'm trying to go after here. Brakes, obviously.
Yeah.
And the Laguna Seca splitter. I'd like to get one of those eventually.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to see if I can find that. Was it like that Vorschlag, all the cooling kit? The whole thing for the brakes. I'm looking at that. So I'm like, at the track, I had problems with my brakes heating up.
Well, I was shocked because honestly, he's like, Tony's like, hey, if your brakes are gonna get spongy at 4 or 5 laps, come on in. And I'm like, oh, they're not spongy. I'm great. And then I pulled in, and the moment I went to go again, it like just went all the way to the floor. I'm like, oh snap, what's that? I'm like, thank God I didn't like go one more lap because like that next push would have been my straightaway, and I would have hit the brakes and had no brakes and gone straight off. So I was like, thank God I had the common sense to pull in.
So Matt, that's a very common issue. One of the things you probably want to do is bleed your brakes before the event, but also get a higher temperature brake fluid.
Yep.
And so, and that's one of the things a lot of people don't really realize. They think, oh, my brakes are good on the street, and they go out there and they boil the brakes, and then they're in for a ride. Yeah,
and I'm probably lucky it took as long as it did because, I mean, I was out there for a while and, yeah, I mean, it probably could have happened a little faster if I had I don't know if I have .3 or .4 in there. I probably just need to do a complete drain and fill just to know. And I got some stuff coming, so I'll probably knock that out here soon.
So are you talking like, Napa or AutoZone .4, or do you have an actual higher temperature?
I just ordered some Motul.
Okay.
full synthetic .4.
So years ago, when I was first getting into this with my Cobra R, the Motorcraft fluid was actually very, very high temperature, especially for an off-the-shelf type fluid. But they've reformulated it, and it's not nearly as good anymore. So when they did that, I think I have some over here. But of course, now this is for my Cobra R. I have yet to track my Boss R or my street one behind me. But I need to figure out, exactly what track level type fluid I want to use for that. Because, I'm on a tight budget, and you can spend a whole lot of money on that brake fluid alone.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, I need to. Well, I guess that's another mod. You just made me think of it. I need to separate my reservoirs, so I haven't done that yet. Shelby Racing is actually one of the founders. Was a friend of mine up in Virginia Beach, and so I need to reach out, see if I can get a discount on one of their parts. If not, then I'll just pay full price. No worries. But I need to separate the reservoirs for sure.
Here's the stuff I use on my Cobra R. It's wheelwood, so it's 570 degrees. So I've had pretty good luck with that on the track. But honestly, the thing that made the biggest difference was, believe it or not, even though the Cobra R in the background was a pro race car, when it was raced, the cooling ducts were not legal. And as soon as I added that, it changed everything. I was cracking rotors pretty much every weekend. And after I added the cooling ducts, I can get probably a season plus, out of the rotors. And then it alleviated the, the brakes wanting to boil as well.
So yeah, I'd like to get those ducts. Those kits, they're not the prettiest things, but they work.
Speaking of brake ducts and then that splitter, though, last night on eBay, the Boss 302S splitter, the front ducting, the air ducts, the cooling ducts, all hit on eBay. It's takeoff off of, I don't know which Boss 302S. Of course, it's kind of pricey, is $1,800.
Oh yeah, I'm not there. I'm not that guy. I appreciate the offer though, man. Or the heads up. Maybe somebody else in here can benefit from that, but I definitely don't have that sitting around, unfortunately.
Well, like we talked last week, I have the Laguna Seca splitters for the 12 and the 13, and I want to get the accurate measurements for how much shorter the Boss 302S's were, so that I can trace these out. And there's places we can send that CAD to, or that template to, and they can cut that. And it doesn't have, it's the same material.
Yeah.
So just looking for an opportunity to measure one off of a 302S, and then I can have that data.
No, I hear you. What's up, Nate?
Not much. I listened to you guys my entire trip home to try to blow off steam from driving 45 minutes to Home Depot to find out they had half of what I needed and not all of what I needed. They're like, oh, no, we don't sell that. I'm like, how do you sell 4-inch vent pipe for a gas furnace, but you don't sell caps and other things? Yes. Don't get me started.
I'm not going to lie, man. It's awesome. It's awesome. It is my, honestly, if I could do it all over again and I had the choice between the Cooks or the Airaid first, I'd probably go Cooks.
Probably been easier to find at the time you got the Airaid, wasn't it?
Possibly. What's up? What's up, Pinks? But it was, but yeah, they're definitely hard to find now, and they're really hard to find in good shape because everybody lowers their cars and they crunch them. I've actually, my first trip out in them, I snagged a bolt on something in the road, and I got out, and there's actually a dent in it now on one of the pipes, so I got to go take it to my buddy and see if he can help me, or go get one of the pipe presses from Harbor Freight to kind of straighten it out because it's right at where one of the joints meet up. But it hooked the band clamp on the bolt and just went and pushed it in. I heard it happen too. It was real nasty sound, and I was like, oh god. I get under the car, and I was like, it just hurt my soul because I literally put it on the day before. I'm not even lowered too. That's the worst part. Like, I'm not lowered. They just sit so low. I cannot imagine having that on my car lowered. You can't go anywhere except for a racetrack.
Need to get me the dimensions of those. I want to make a set.
Well, that means I got to take it
It's
off.
very possible.
I'd have to take it off.
No, next time it's in the air, just take the dimensions with it on there.
But I don't put it in the air. You know how I installed it? I didn't even lift it. I backed it up onto my little crappy ramps you buy from Walmart.
Yeah.
And it was just enough room for me to reach my hand in there and undo the other set and then put the new one on. I did not give myself any space. It could have been done probably way easier if I lifted it up, but I was also very lazy and I didn't want to. Not lazy. I don't like jacking up the front of my car. I do not like putting it under my Roush side splitters to get it up on the pinch weld. I'm not a fan. So I try to avoid it at all costs. If I have to get it up in the air, I'd rather take it to the hobby shop that's on base and drive it up on the lift. But now I don't even know if I can get on that lift with the side pipes on there. It might scrape as I'm getting over that little crest.
We need to get you a set of Steeda jacking rails. Because I don't like jacking on mine either. And I bought that. That was like one of the first things I bought and put on.
I should have done that.
They're fantastic. I jack up the whole one side, put the jack stands under it, go over to the other side, jack up the other side.
Do you have side splitters?
No.
See,
but it doesn't go. It sits in from the pinch welds probably that far. On actually inside underneath.
Okay.
So the side splitters, I don't think do they stick way in.
They go in a decent way, so I'm not sure how much room you need. So, Eris, you said you have a list. What's on your list of things you're after?
I mean, so brake cooling. If we can get some oil coolings, I've heard. I like cooling. I like brakes. I like tires. Kind of want to do all that stuff just to make sure the car like runs well. The clutch, just because I know my clutch doesn't feel great. I think they drag race this car a lot.
I never did the trans cooler, even though I've heard good things about it for the track. But I've also heard that I've heard a ton of people rip them off. They just catch it on something, and then you risk damaging a lot more things than that. And I was like, it's not worth it to me. So I've never put that on.
Yeah, that is a worry, right? I even think with the scoop they can put on the bottom. And I'm like, I don't know. Like,
it's a low car, like a stock. It is a low car stock. And
yeah.
I mean, I think they do look good when they're lowered, but I can't do it obviously with the side pipe. And that's why I refrained from even looking into it because I wanted those side pipes for so long, and I was always hoping I'd get a set.
Yeah, no, because my stock ride height, I'm never lowering it because to get in and out of my driveway, I have to go sideways or I scrape my
Same
front
here.
door.
Same here.
Just nothing I could do about it.
My old house was way worse, and I was like millimeters from the ground, and I somehow figured out the perfect angle every time, but I'd be millimeters from the ground. And so like the LS splitter in my old house was definitely no go. Here, I think I could do it if I came out at like perfectly 45 degrees.
Yeah. No, I had to S up my driveway. So I'm in the grass and I get into my garage. Like,
Nate, what you been working on? You got anything else going on in your car?
I made the decision I'm going to pull the transmission and rebuild it.
Nothing wrong with that. You're going to do it?
Yep.
Have you ever done that before?
I've done an E4OD. I have an F-150.
So you're just
I
replacing
can't screw it up any more than Calimer can.
I was going to say, are you replacing with stock parts? Because
No.
I thought that Calimer had a monopoly on the G-force gears that go on these things.
I am going to put stock. I'm just going to leave the gears in there if they're good.
Okay.
I don't see a point in putting any heavier gear in it because I don't plan on boosting mine anytime soon. If I do, well, when one of the gears will call no show one day.
Well, that was years ago that I heard that. I heard that Calimer had a deal worked out with G-Force where they only supply the reinforced gears to him. But
I heard that on Coyote Productions just a month ago when he was talking about his Calimer that he
maybe
called
that's where I
G-Force
heard it from.
themselves. It wasn't very long ago.
It doesn't make
words.
Yeah, he also found out though. All right. I haven't watched this stuff in a minute. I've been very busy. Very, very. My new job is crazy hours. But the last I heard, the last video I watched, he had recognized that his Calimer wasn't the issue. There was something else going on. I'd have to go back and watch. I can't remember.
No, his Calimer was broke too. He come to find that out after he sold it to somebody, and then they put it in their car, and it was junk. And he shipped it back to Calimer, and Calimer said, "No, it's not us," and they wouldn't warranty it. He's got a video like absolutely bashing Calimer and how bad their transmissions are.
Well, now I got to go back and watch that.
Which is like a 50-50 split. If you type in any transmission, anything on the Boss Group and look all through the comments, you've got people that have had fantastic experiences. Other guys have absolutely got screwed.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm just going to do it myself. I will be the guy that it'll be, I'll put like 4 miles on the car and third gear will no call, no show one day. And it come out the side.
Yeah.
Shaft and all. The only thing is trying to find, like, I don't know what a reputable company is to buy the parts from. Because there's mixed feelings about that too. I did find one guy on the group reading through hundreds of comments. He said, "Does nobody believe in rebuilding your own transmission?" And I went, this might be my guy. So I searched, and he rebuilt his own too. So I'm going to get a hold of him and see where he got his parts.
Oh, shoot, dude. How long you been down there?
Oh, about 30 seconds or so.
Okay, good.
Maybe a minute.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, what would you try and upgrade any of the parts in there?
Yeah, I'll put the bronze shift forks in it. I'm definitely putting different synchros in it.
I got a question for you. Who was its transmission that did a video on Calimer stuff that said it was horrible? And
That's what we're talking about.
who was that?
Coyote Productions.
Oh, okay.
His name's Raph.
And he just put a different transmission. He put a Magnum in, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I watch his stuff. I haven't watched that last video of him, but yeah, he was a little disappointed in his Calimer because his did what mine did, but I was forced to pay to have it fixed, even though because it wasn't Calimer's fault.
Yeah,
apparently, although I did nothing to it. So
that's what he said too, as well.
I didn't even really driven it hard. I hadn't drag raced it at all.
What happened to yours?
Oh, mine screwed up. It had to be fully rebuilt. The third gear was screwed up on it. It would lock me out of gears. This one locks me out of second gear if I start in first on the drag strip. It will not do a high speed shift, and those gears aren't taking it. And he won't sell parts. What it is with G-Force, he won't sell individual pieces, and G-Force isn't allowed to sell those gears that he specifically gets. They can sell other gears for the MT82, just not the ones that are the design for him, which are the helical cut. And he only replaces gears 1 through 4. 5 and 6 are still stock, which is fine.
What do you run for a clutch?
In the overdrive. What's that?
What are you running for a clutch?
I have the McLeod RXT on there, and my clutch is screwed up now too. So, and I don't know if it's the clutch that caused the problem, or if it's my pressure plate on the clutch, or if it's the throwout bearing. I haven't taken it apart yet. It's been sitting in my trailer for over a week now, since I came back from Ford Fest, and it's not going into the garage until after I do the Focus, which I just talked with my wife, and I think that Friday I'm going to rip the Focus apart and start swapping the engine and tranny. And my dog needs to stop barking.
Yeah, I still got my RXT here. I don't know. Yeah,
so I'm not super happy with the Calimer, but but I've got so much money in it now, I can't get rid of it. If it goes bad, yeah, I'm done with it, and I will probably blast him too because I'm tired of it.
I just
And
don't
there's
know.
no way that twice in a row that I did something wrong.
I wonder how they justify that they're saying people are doing something wrong. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's plenty of people that go out there, don't break in these transmissions and completely shred them to pieces. But I mean, some of these people are like putting in transmissions, and within 5 miles, they're taking them back out and shipping them back and saying there's something not right.
I break them in very nicely. In fact, I break them in probably the best way possible, just normal driving. You know, I'm not hard on them at all. And in fact, that's all I did for a long time with this car. I didn't take it to the track for well over 1,000 miles before I did anything with it. And, you know, fluid change, all that. So I don't know how it could be me doing it. He might try and say that it's, you know, I have a Barton shifter on there, and they prefer the what is it, the MGW or MG, what's the other shifter?
Yeah, MGW.
Yeah, the MGW. That's the one they advertise to buy for their stuff. But I'm like, the Barton's like the same exact thing. You know, it's just an interface, and it works fine.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I did see them at Ford Fest. I saw they had the new MT82 because I guess for the new Mustang, it's been redesigned slightly.
Is it better? Because the third was worse than all of them.
It's supposed to be, yeah, it's supposed to be better, but of course, there's where the Calimer cutaway, you know, got their gears in it and everything. But he was telling me they redesigned the shift forks again. So they kind of went back to what was better, but with a newer design. You know, so they updated it. They made it a little bit better, supposedly. But you know, they're still using plastic parts in them, just like they do in everything.
So I was trying to figure out, I was like, Ford, this could not be the car they decided to use this in for the first time. So get on YouTube and look up any rebuild. You find out Land Rover Defenders had the MT82 in them.
The Defender had the MT82 in it?
Yep.
Really? What years, though?
I don't know what years they were. They're always from Europe, the
Yeah.
guys that are rebuilding them. But they're one of the few people that you can find any videos on rebuilds.
Bet you anything they're geared differently, though,
Oh, for sure.
for the Defender. And
them pulled apart, they look identical.
but I don't like the new Defenders so much.
I don't like Land Rovers.
I think whoever owned my car before me trashed it, and by the time I got it, it was already too late to save it because I was having third gear grind problems the day I bought it.
Well, Yellowhammer just came in. Yellowhammer bought his car from Carvana, man, and they had to cover so much crap under warranty for him.
Really?
Amazing that he got it taken care of.
Oh, I can't see the chat on my tablet, so.
Well, I can't stay on too much longer.
Really? It's early though.
It's not early. It's 10:30.
Not for you. Oh. Why should do this to me? 10:30. Oh, I forget you're East Coast.
Yeah, I meant to come on earlier, but I had to take care of something. But yeah,
I missed the first half of your chat. I was watching TV with.
No, you're good. I'm hoping that I was told that the new car should possibly be done getting painted by the end of the week, which means the engine could possibly be going into it next week.
Okay.
So hopefully by the end of the month, I'll have the new car.
Depending on how it works out with my back, I like I said, should be working on the Focus this weekend and hopefully have that thing back to the 400 horsepower it used to be.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, it was. It was a lot of fun.
So let me ask you. I meant to tell Autumn about this because I thought about going to buy this car.
Hold up.
Oh, that's pretty. It's a hatch.
It's 100% original.
That's
That's the GT, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a 90 GT, all original, all the way down to it still has the factory airbox in
How many
it.
miles?
77,000.
Wow. What do they want? What do they want for it? I'm gonna get. Hold on. Let's guess. Let's guess. Hold on.
$12,000.
24.
77. They want 13.5.
No guess, Cobra?
I'm going to say 18.
Sold $6,900.
Wow.
Oh, what?
2
Damn.
weeks. I seen it 3 weeks ago, and he actually dropped the price $400 before he sold it. I seen that, and I went, I should go buy it.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Wow, I'm surprised. And that's in New York?
Yeah.
Damn. East Amherst, eh? And it sold that low. Wow.
I'm surprised that it was even listed very long.
That's crazy.
Someone
seen
just
that. I was
got
like,
a.
this was
Someone just
long.
posted. Someone got a 3,100 mile 2012 Boss. 3,100 miles. How much do you think it sold for? The Oxford White. It sold on Bring a Trailer.
I mean, like maybe 50, right?
3,100 miles.
On Bring a Trailer, probably brought way more than it should have. So probably 60.
I'm gonna say around 50.
Hold up. Let's bring it. Let's maximize the screen here.
So I don't have to lean in and look.
Wow.
37. Damn.
That makes me feel really bad for buying my car.
Someone got a deal.
Should have just waited.
I got mine for dude.
I
got
do
mine
know
for
right now
26.
prices are dropping on.
I got mine for 26 out the door.
Can you guys buy yours new?
No, I had just gotten my first job, or not my first job. I just commissioned when this came out.
I was in my 3rd year of college, sitting there building them on Ford's website, saying I'll never own one of these. And I wanted a grabber green one, or I got to have it green at the time. I loved it. It was that or this. And then I forgot all about it whenever I got in real world until last year.
So I did buy my first Mustang the year this came out. I bought a 3-valve 05, and I got that for a smoking deal too. That thing had this is back in 2012, so the 5.0 had only been out for 2 years, right? And it had 29,000 miles, and I got it for $12,900, and it was brand new. And I traded it in with 59,000 or 56,000 when I got the Boss. But I was actually going after a 500, and I was going to look at the lot I was going to look at a 500, and I saw the Boss on the lot first, so I test drove it, and I never even set foot in the 500.
Yeah. Back in 2000, I bought my first Mustang. It was a 1987 GT, the Fox Body convertible, all original. I bought it for $1,500.
Nice.
Straight body and everything. And then 2 years later, I bought a 91 hatchback, and I bought that for $5,000. And I'm like, man, those would have been considered investments now.
I remember I think I was 13, 14 looking at Fox bodies, and it was what's the insurance going to cost me? It'd be $600, but it was going to cost $4,000 to pick one up that was in good shape.
Yeah.
I bought my first Mustang that I bought was an 89 hatchback GT with blue and silver, the two-tone. And I think I paid $2,000 for it in 91. So it was only 2-3 years old. I didn't keep it very long because the person I bought it from never got me the title because he didn't actually own it. And they came and repoed it from him.
That's probably why the price is so low.
Well, the price for the shape it was in and the work it needed, the price was about right. Yeah, it'd have been thrashed. I mean, I had it running and it drove well.
Did you get any money back?
Take it from me. Luckily, I was down there. I was able to get all my stuff out of it, and including the steering wheel I'd put on it because the original one was broken. I didn't even leave him any steering wheel at all. I just took mine away because I had a nice steering wheel I'd put in it. to make it work. And I took that with me. Took the stereo out of it because that was mine. The lady's like, you get about 30 minutes until the tow truck's here. I'm like, yep, I'm getting all my stuff. And she's like, yeah, I'm sorry to do this to you. And she realized that I was not the guy. And she's like, yeah, you got screwed. I was like, yeah, don't worry. I'll get my money back from him. That guy ended up in prison.
It's
not
amazing
that,
people-
for something else. But he was military and he did that to me. He got in trouble for doing that.
People suck, man.
I couldn't even imagine even attempting to do that to somebody.
He was actually in my same company. He wasn't in my platoon, but he was in my company. I was like, how do you do that to a guy that you work with? And,
Yeah, the problem's not going away. In fact, you'll see him every day.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a big block.
He wasn't my problem anymore, though.
Yeah.
But that was the Mustang I have now. I bought used, had 7,000 miles on it. I wish it was a Boss 302, but then if it was, I'd be really pissed at myself for the damage I've caused to it. Whereas I'm a little irritated with the damage I've caused to this one, but I'm not like wanting to, I'm over it now. It's got so much damage on it.
Well, the only part I'd be upset about now is that certain parts now are getting harder to source already, and it's only a 10-year-old car.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, can you all find our original stripes? Because I find fake stripes, but
well, you're not on Facebook, but there's a guy on Facebook that makes the reflective stripes. His name's Greg Boss.
That's right. You had told me. I was looking for him somewhere else then. Okay.
I would want to see them in person to see if they.
Everybody says great things about him. He actually replaced his 2012 with the reflective material, and it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because on my hood, I'm having the problem where I'm getting the bubbling on the edge on two sides on my hood. And I'm like, crap. And I went somewhere. I was like, how much to paint this? And they were like, yeah, probably like $4,000. I'm like, are you serious? $4,000
for stripes?
No. To paint it. That's not even the stripes. I couldn't even find the stripes.
Oh, painting.
Oh, you're talking about the green is bubbling, not the vinyl.
No, the green, but they can't, they're going to have to take off the vinyl.
Yep. Okay. I'm with you now.
My stripes.
I thought you were saying your vinyl's starting to bubble up.
Mine is.
Yeah, so I was about to just take my hood off and put it on my wall and get that Tiger hood, wrap it in green, put the fake stripes, and call it a day.
Yeah.
You see, so I was all about like, man, I need to get some paint correction. But so when I was on that track, there were so many little rocks on it that when we were doing our parade laps, we're getting thrown up. And I was like, man, I'm getting holes blown in my ship here. But it kind of like hit me afterwards. I was like, you know what? Why do I care right now? Like, I'll make it look as nice as it'll look. And I want to do this again in the future. And it's just going to happen again. I'm not going to sweat it right now. Maybe some point I'll get a new paint job, but I'm not going to worry about it. It still looks good. I keep it clean. And, just enjoy it.
It's one of those things. You want to stare at it in the garage, or do you want to go enjoy it?
Well, it's like what Kyle said, the IMSA guy. He's like, I had that come to Jesus moment where the car was not staying perfect, and I just had to accept that. And it's something I want. Once I was able to do that, he was able to drive better, be more aggressive with it. Yeah, Connor, I don't want to spend all that time keeping.
Get the front end PPF'd. Like on yours, you'd be able to do that.
I got the 3M bulk clear bra stuff that I put on because I was going to Rhode Island. So like my front bumper's mostly good. Now I have hit some stuff that apparently must have been pretty freaking big because it's definitely dug into my 3M clear bra.
So we just lost Cobra.
Yeah. And I've got I've got the heat spider cracks in my headlights, but I have a brand new set that some Marine sold me for like $40 that are just sitting in my storage unit. I just don't feel like putting them on.
Let me see if this company still exists. There's a company that literally made it look. So you took it's water soluble roll on PPF for like track days, and you just roll it on. It looks like garbage, but as soon as you hit it with water, it'll all peel off. I gotta look it up and see if they
I
still
can't
make.
see that working very well.
I'd be afraid to gunk something up, like you plug up your radiator or something.
I have a lot of dings on my cars from the track, and our track was pretty clean.
Yeah, what happens if you're driving to the track and it starts raining, or driving home and it starts rolling off into your engine?
Or what happens when you're at the track and it's raining? Because I've driven on the track in the rain many times.
You said put like a nice like leather bra on the front of the car.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I will, if it's raining, I'll be the first one to just park my car and be like, I'm not going.
Oh, hell no. Driving in the rain when you're doing track days, HPD in the rain is pretty awesome, actually, because you learn a different skill set.
Well, were you here for the last live with Dipstick in the stream?
No.
So Dipstick Motorsports, he was a friend of Sean McGugan, who's the other boss guy. He's up in Canada, right? And he's got a GT that's modded out with every 302S or 302R mod that exists. And he's got a video of him running in the wet where it's just ridiculous, man. He's going so fast in the rain. And yeah, we watched the video of his that he just put out, like, I don't know, a few weeks ago, last week, where his rear brakes caught on fire. And if it wasn't for his buddies stopping with extinguishers, and he had one of those flare extinguisher things. And if there ever was an advertisement, a live advertisement for a product that worked great, it was him, because it sold me immediately. Like, holy crap! Like, I got to get one of these things, because the little flare put out the flame, because the normal extinguishers all ran out. Meanwhile, his flare was the only thing extinguishing this flame under his car.
A flare extinguisher. I'm gonna have to look that up.
I forget the name of it. It was kind of expensive, but he had the 50-second version, I think, is what it was. So
I'll post the video real quick. Actually, we can watch the video while I'm on here. Hold on. Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
I need to look it up, because I'm pretty sure I have video of the last time of me in the rain, and it was in the Focus, and I was behind a Porsche GT3. And I was doing great, and I was keeping up with that Porsche no problem the whole day until he got off the track. And then as soon as he got off the track and I went down and I hit turn one, I slid, because I didn't have anybody in front of me braking the water. I slid all the way across the track. That was my last run around the track.
Hey, Frank, I'm not going, man. My car's not ready yet. I don't have it yet. And my son actually has a baseball tournament this weekend. So he's probably pitching. And so I'm pretty excited about that. And I wouldn't miss it for the world. So no, I'm not going to Foxtoberfest. I feel like I have my priorities in check, though. So let's see. Here we go. All right. Can you guys see this?
Yep. Now I can.
All right. Let's see.
Even better. Speedy Goose. That is.
You start seeing the smoke in his cab.
Well, this just happened, what, 2 months ago?
Yeah.
Yep. The door dingers. I didn't notice that the first time we watched it.
What dash is that he's got?
What?
What was that on his dash there? Is that the GPS? Is it just me, or is it really choppy?
It's really choppy.
Oh, I think it'll fly back on streaming. Well, I'll post the link.
There's a lot of fire.
It's the evap system caught on fire.
Oh,
He did an
another one.
evap.
Yeah, he said the evap system deleted itself.
deleted itself.
Can you see it? No. I think it might be out.
But yeah, that flare lasted longer than that huge
What was
bottle.
it? A line?
Yeah, something. The car was still running.
I know, I saw that.
I think something fell down and set on fire.
Okay.
I think a panel
great.
fell down or
Do we
something.
have a jack in the truck at all? No.
Whew, this thing saved it.
Element.
Wow.
I think element extinguisher.
Element extinguisher. Is that what it said right before you cut it off, or as it popped up?
Yeah, element. There's the link for that video. If anybody wanted to watch it. But yeah. Hey, what's up, Clay? Yeah, Clay's going in my spot, Frank. I gave my spot away, and he won it. Somebody's got doubles.
Let's get that link.
I
Well,
did
it's
almost.
it's his first time pitching, Frank, so I'm like super nervous for him.
Okay, I got the link. It's up on my phone. I'll watch it when we're done here.
Yeah, and you should check out the rain video too that he's got up there. It's pretty wild. He's moving.
If he's got a couple of race videos, I'll probably start watching them.
He's got some good stuff.
I was trying to figure out what the dash was he was using in his dashboard area. He's got something in there that's not a normal dash.
I have no idea. Well, probably something out of the 302S or our car because it's what he was talking.
No,
His decal says S197R because it's a
no, I know what it is. I have one. I think that's the same thing I have, and it's a GPS thing. It's
Okay.
Garmin. I think that's the Garmin. It's got a name. Can't think of it. Anyway, go on.
Well, as much as I'd like to go on, I probably need to end this live stream, man. I need to go to bed.
It's 10:51. Understandable.
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
But hey, Eris, appreciate you hopping on here, man. Pleasure talking with you, Nate.
Yeah.
Nice to
Okay.
meet you, Ayers.
Yeah, likewise.
I always see you down in the chat, but I never got to see you. So
Yeah.
I was once
Cobra.
putting the kid away, so the kid's asleep, so I had some time. Yeah.
You know,
How old's your kid?
10 months now.
I feel wrong here because you're in the garage. I'm not in my garage, but I don't have a ball. I don't even have a. Well, I have an EcoBoost Mustang in there.
That's all right. Well, everybody, have a good night. Man, where my reverb coming from? Is that me? No, it's not me. Anyway, everybody have a good night. I appreciate everyone hopping in. I really enjoyed this stream because I love talking bosses, and it's always cool when we get a bunch of guys in here. But yep, we'll see if I can do this again next week. Not sure my schedule's all over the place, hence why I have nothing ironed out anymore. It's really hard to do. And thanks to current events overseas, my schedule might be even crazier. Not sure, but we'll see. But everybody, have a good night, and see you guys next time.
Take it easy.